Sup Taters, Ken Vandal here, got another awesome episode. Today I'm excited about this because we're going to be talking about ways to improve your aim. Now we can all use help with our aim. In fact, today my wife was just getting on me earlier about peeing on the seat again. But I told her in most sports, on the line means in. But the truth is, we can all use some advice when it comes to being a better marksman while shooting our slingshot. And today we're going to be talking about an area of marksmanship that I believe is paramount for any And today we're going to be talking about an area of marksmanship that I believe is paramount if you want to be an awesome slingshot marksman. And that, Taters, is to minimize your movement. But before we get into the video, if you have not subscribed to the channel, why don't you take time right now to do so? Go down below, hit that subscribe button. While you're down there, if you like what you see, hit that like button, and don't forget to hit the bell notification so you can get everything that I'm putting out, because Ken Vandal's putting out. With that said, let's get to the video. Another passion of mine besides shooting slingshots is hunting. And I've been hunting most of my adult life, and I tell you, I would spend every moment in the woods hunting if I could. That's how much I love it. Now, I remember when I first started hunting, I strictly hunted with a shotgun. All my game was coming in range, and so I chose an 1187 by Remington. I loved it. And one of the advantages to hunting with a shotgun is that you have multiple projectiles going to hit one single target. And so you could say that a shotgun was very forgiving. But it was later on when we did some changes out on the hunting grounds that we opened it up and we had some longer shots that I had to learn to hunt with a rifle. Now, hunting with a rifle was somewhat of an adjustment because there were things I could get away with a shotgun that I couldn't get away with a rifle. For instance, with a shotgun, like I said before, I'm shooting multiple projectiles at a single target. Now with a rifle, I'm shooting a single projectile at that same target, and that takes some little more planning, and you gotta be a little more intentional. And one of the things I learned very quickly with shooting a rifle is that you have got to minimize your movement. Because any movement right here can translate into inches downrange, and it could mean a miss. Now, shooting slingshots and rifles have a lot of similarities. There's a lot of things you have to do with a rifle that you have to do with a slingshot as well. And one of those things is you've got to minimize your movement. Why? Because you are shooting a single projectile at a very small target, and the slightest movement right here can mean inches downrange. So today we're going to talk about 3 quick ways that you can minimize your movement while at the range or while hunting. Let's do it. All right, number 1, you need a good, solid stance. It is imperative while at the range or in the woods hunting that you have a good shooting stance. Now, a proper stance is not something you need to overthink. It's very simple. What I like to do is, imagine my target is over here. I stand sideways to my target. And then I'm going to take my feet and I'm going to spread them about the width of my shoulders. That's it. Just kind of comfortably spread them. And then I'm going to take this front foot, this is the closest to the target, and I'm not going to aim it at the target. I'm going to put it about 45 degrees of my target. And now some people, in addition to doing that, they like to kind of bend their knees. That's up to you if you feel you need to. The key is make it comfortable yet solid. Now we're here. Another key element in a solid stance is to keep your head the center of gravity. Keep your head as center as possible, because when pulling back, your body will tend to go where your head goes. So if I'm pulling back and I kind of lean into the shot, a lot of times my body is going to go that direction. And that counts the same as if I were to lean back. Try to keep your head as center as possible. Keep all this in line. Keep your feet shoulder length apart. Pull back. And there you go. That is a good, solid shooting stance. All right, number 2, control your respiratory. This is paramount. You must control your respiratory. I'm sure if you've ever been shooting a rifle or any gun, really, you've heard someone say, control your breathing. What they're actually saying to you is, control your respiratory. All right, here's a little exercise you can do to show why you need to control your respiratory. Everybody take a deep breath. Now let it out. You see what happened? You see all the movement that was there? When you breathe in and out, you are causing movement around your stomach area, and sometimes it gets into your shoulders. It really depends on the person. There are some people that have a lot of movement. They breathe all the way in their shoulders, and some people it's more subtle. But the key is you've got to minimize all that movement. It's called respiratory control. Now, when it comes to how to control your respiratory, there are 3 simple steps that if you'll follow, you'll nip this in the bud very quick. Here they are. You've got to breathe in, release half, and hold. Breathe in, release half, and hold. Say it with me. Breathe in. You're not saying it. Breathe in, release half, hold. It's that simple. And this is what it looks like for me. Now, I'm going to over-exaggerate it. On the range or in the woods, you'll never know that I'm doing this, but I'm going to over-exaggerate it so you can see the 3 steps in action. What I do is I get my stance. I've already saw my target. I know the general area. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull back and breathe in at the same time. So it looks like this. Okay, now that I'm back, I'm going to line up my shot. And while I'm lining up my shot with my sight reference, I'm going to exhale half. I'm going to release half. And then I'm going to hold. So it goes like this. Hold. Just like that. It's that simple. Now, the reason you hold is because when you hold, it slows down your entire respiratory system. There's absolutely no movement going on at that moment. So the 3 steps are breathe in, release half, and hold. And that brings me to number 3, rapid release. Get that shot down lane as quick as possible. It's very imperative that when you have drawn back and you're in the hold position, that you do not hold on hold. The longer you are extended, the more opportunity there is for movement. And you want to minimize movement. So get the shot off as quick as possible. When you are on hold, you should be letting that shot go promptly. Don't give your body opportunity to move. Now, I'm sure if you talk to other shooters, they can probably give you some more tips, but those are my 3 quick tips to minimize movement when you are at the range or hunting. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the range and I'm going to put this in practice. I've got some spinners up that are rather small, the ones I don't typically shoot. But I've got to kind of hone my target in because it is hunting season. And you know when hunting a squirrel, you've got a target area about that big, about the size of a quarter, maybe a little bigger. So when I'm preparing to hunt, I've got to prepare with targets that are the same size. So this is where minimizing my movement is going to be paramount. So let's go to range. Let's go. All right, Taters, we're at the range and I've got 3 very small targets set up. And I'm not used to shooting this small of a target. I only hang them up around hunting season and that's what I'm doing now. Typically I shoot something a little bigger, you know, but I've got to hone it in if I'm going to hunt squirrel, because with the squirrel, ideally you want to hit them in the head, and that target is only about that big, about the size of a quarter. And you've got to take a projectile about that big and hit that target. So you've got to minimize your movement. Oh yeah, I'm using my frame selection for today is the Scout LT. I've had this in my collection since day one. It is by far my favorite slingshot. If you don't have one, I'm going to put a link down in the description where you can go right to SimpleShot and purchase you one. You can get it in a variety of arrangements of color and everything. You got to check it out. You can almost customize this thing. Also, I'm using SimpleShot Premium Black Latex 0.5 at a 12 to 20 taper. This is not my hunting setup. This is just a range setup. But SimpleShot Premium Black. And as you can tell, I'm wearing a toboggan and I got my sweatshirt on. It's a little cold outside. This SimpleShot Premium Black is awesome for these cold temperatures. But with that said, let's fire a couple shots off. Okay, here we go. 3 targets, downrange. Here we go. Ooh. All right, there's one. This is tough. This next one's going to be tough, I'm going to tell you. All right, here we go. Oh, God, man, I was close. That was real close. That was real close. Hold on. I'm going to shoot this one, then I'm going to have to go down there and move the small one because it turned when I hit the first one. Here we go. Ooh, got it. You see that? All right, 1 minute. Okay. All right, I've got it turned around now. I'm going to try for that small one now. This is going to be tough. It is tough. You've got to minimize your movement. That thing's not big. It's about the size of a nickel. Here we go. I'm going to make sure you see it. Let's try this one try. All right, here we go. Ooh, I hit it. I think I did. I think I hit it. I think I hit it. I'm going to shoot again just in case. I don't want to be a liar. Here we go. All right, let's see. Yes, sir, I believe I hit it. Ooh, yeah, I missed it that time. I believe I already hit it, though. All right. Here we go. Ooh. Hit it that time, Tater. Yes, sir. All right, Taters, I hope you learned something today. Those were just 3 quick, easy ways to minimize your movement while on the range or when you're hunting. But next time you're on the range, just try those quick, easy steps, and I promise you, you'll start to see an improvement in your shooting. But that's just about going to wrap this thing up. Heck, I'm running out of daylight. So until we meet again, be kind to each other and get out there and bust some cans. We'll see you next time. That's a wrap. Later, Tater.